All right, good morning traders and welcome to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be going through the live order flow and understanding the auction process, the behavior of other traders within the auction order flow, and where price might go based off of that behavior. And you can do that with order flow. That is the edge. And we're going to be showing that in Bookmap. Let's go through the disclosures and then jump into the markets. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, so let's get to the chat here. Morning, everybody. All right. Yeah, good to see you guys, Stephen, Rob, Dan, others. Okay, well, let's take a look here and what's happening. First things first. So it's end of the week here. We have some interesting geopolitical stuff happening, and also next week as well. And the markets are closed on Monday. Okay, so it's going to be I anticipate a potentially kind of wild day here. So we'll be on the lookout for some a little bit of volatility in the order flow. Good morning, Alois, and Happy New Year, everybody. All right, let's jump in and take a look here. We're going to start with the bigger picture. This is one of the most important things that we can do. Time and again, if you're not following the bigger picture, you're really hurting yourself. Now you can be scalping on lower time frames, and you can on any time frame. You should be looking at a bigger picture. Okay, no matter what it is, at least I find that to be extremely beneficial, it just makes trading your trading life a lot easier. All right, so what is the bigger picture here? Well, we have the daily chart over here on the left. In the middle is the hourly, and we have the 15. Hold on a minute. The 15-minute chart here on the right. Okay. So, and I have a VWAP in here as well, if anyone was wondering what that line is. Well, I mean, looking pretty bullish today. We're in a big downtrend that started here. Well, at least you can see it as a continuation of a downtrend here. And you can see it very clearly here that started with FOMC back on, I think it was the 18th, right? Yeah, December 18th. You can see the continuation here. This is the trend, and we're coming up to it right now in this trend line from the daily. All right, but on the other hand, this is look at the move here. Okay, from just a few days ago. This is a big green candle here. Look where we and this is where you just can't make this stuff up. I mean, we cover it again and again and again. We look for these to be targets. We look for these to be where they're buyers. Well, this is a false breakdown. Okay, we get a lot of people stopped out, get people going with this downtrend here that started from FOMC and went down below it, but now we're finding buyers. Okay, this is the area in here where we're looking for buyers. Okay, because this is where we found them before. This is the order flow we're looking at on the higher time frames in a very basic candlestick. And we look for it. We look for the move away from those areas, starting to understand how much buying pressure there is. And you can see that in this move here. Well, we don't even break the low here on the daily. And we can see the buyers came back in for 3 or 4 consecutive days. Back up here, but they look at the way the buying came in here. Right? Now, this is pretty typical. You can see it took 3 or 4 days to not even retrace the entire FOMC day up here. Okay, this is probably where FOMC came out, I imagine. And we probably did retest that area. And you can see that sellers came right back in. And look at how many days it took to get back down here. Well, at least the first couple of days are pretty big days. So we can start to understand buying and selling pressure in here. And these are big swings. And buyers come back in again in this zone where we're looking for there to be buyers. And we can also see again that they couldn't muster even coming back up to the previous swing. Okay, we see the sellers come in again. So the sellers are driving the market. Okay, now we go down below the swings in here. And then we're finding buyers now. Okay, so this is like a false breakdown here on the daily. And you can see this is kind of a tricky day here. Some back and forth, but back up into the range, and it does close into the range. And then the buyers get a hold of it again and are able to come back up into these swings here. Okay, so this is really a pretty interesting point right now on the higher time frame. Look at the hourly here. Okay, we can see tremendous buying coming in here on this day, pullbacks in here. And again, these are pretty big candles in here on the hourly. So buyers coming right back in today. What about the 15-minute? Same thing. In fact, you can see the, good morning, Caesar, the order flow on the way down. And then right in here is where, right into this area here. And we're going to see this on Bookmap. Okay, again and again and again. We get the pullback down into this area. Don't even look at VWAP. Look at where the buyers came in. Okay, that's what we want to understand. And then are they still here? Is there still demand down here? That's what we want to ascertain. And we see that there is. And where do they go? They go back to test where there was selling previously or where there was supply. Okay. Now you can see that up into some of these swings up in here, the buyers just overtook it. Okay. We do get the pullbacks in here, and we get this sideways action. And then this morning, pretty nice move here to the upside. So good morning, Shark. Yeah, so we've come back up and retested on the higher time frame where these sellers came in. All right, so let's just take a look, and we're starting to just understand and piece together the bigger picture. Where might price go, or if there is more buying pressure here on the daily. Well, you can see the size of these candles in here. Then we can come up and test up into these areas here. It's possible. And we would be breaking that trend line that we drew in earlier. Okay, so anyway, starting to just get a feel for it. And so this is kind of a critical time right now. We see the back and forth in here on the 15-minute. But our buyer's going to all of a sudden come back in here. Let's actually take a look here at what's happening currently. So right here, pretty interesting stuff. So you see the move up, you see the pullback back to the swing here. Okay, we also have VWAP here, but that doesn't, I'm not much of a VWAP trader. Anyway, we see that the back and forth, and now we're up here again, 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, in the last 15 minutes or so. Okay, so if we see more buying pressure up here, I would be looking for buyers to take it higher and at least test back up to this 60-25 area. Okay, so now let's jump into Bookmap and look at that. Okay, so we also, there's still more to look at on the higher time frame, but let's just cover this right here. Right now, so we see this move back up, we see the move back down into liquidity, and again, the move back up into liquidity here. Okay, and now we want to do the same process, basically understanding supply and demand in here from buyers and sellers. Okay, there's 2 different types that we want to understand. Okay, the passive orders here in the liquidity heat map. Okay, these are passive sellers up with supply at these price levels. These are passive buyers at these levels here. Okay, now here we go. We're getting more buyers back up here again. Okay, so I am interested. Now this is not a trade recommendation, but we're going to look for a small pullback here. Okay, and we're going to look for, well, let's see if we can get a bit of buying here. All right. And then now we're going to manage this as well. We're going to look for maybe a move just up to here for right now. Okay, just up to the liquidity here, and we'll see how we want to manage this. Okay, because right now, and our assumption here is that we still see buying on the higher time frame, and we're back up at these levels again here. Okay, on that 15-minute chart. Okay, also on Bookmap, and we can see high liquidity in here, trades through it. Sellers successfully drop it back down to the swing here, where these buyers came back in again. Okay, and we're back up here again. Okay, so, and we're starting to find some buying again. So I'm looking for buyers to press it and try to come back up into these levels of liquidity here. All right, and let's put a stop in here as well. And actually, let's cancel the orders here, and we'll put an OCO in, and I'll put one up here and one down. Let's see where those buyers came in. Where would they support it? Probably around here. Okay, so I'll put my stop down there, and then I'm just going to actively manage this along the way here. I will move my take profit up if I see a tremendous amount of buying coming back in. Okay, so yeah, that's our trading decision here, and we see some selling coming in right now, but we're still in this range here. Okay, so we're looking for buyers back up again here. There they are. All right, I'm going to add in another. In fact, let's just use a bracketed order at this point. Okay, so I'll take some off up here. I'll move my stop down here, put them together. So we see some of the selling here, but buyers back up above. Okay, so I'm still looking for these buyers to take it higher. And then we'll manage it once we can get back up into, if we can get back up into this 32 area here. Okay, any questions on this? Again, guys, this is not a trade recommendation. The only reason that we're doing this, it is in demo. It does say real down here, but it is in demo paper trading mode. Okay, in fact, I want to show you how I'm doing this. I'm trading it through the, I believe I am. Hold on a minute. Got it. My multi account trading. I actually don't have it set up. We'll go through it again in here. Yeah, we're and show you how you can take one trade here, but have it multiplied to other accounts. So you guys using your Top Step Trader, Apex, Bullnox, any of those services, you can use this tool here. And where are my other take profits up here? Okay. So now it's either the trade works or it doesn't. Okay, and we don't have control over that. Good morning, rainy days. We're just looking for our order flow event here to pan out. Okay, more likely than not is what we're looking. Okay, and we have our reasons behind it. And we can read it right now as well. Like, what does it look like up in here? I mean, it's kind of back and forth, kind of struggling to get up here higher. We just traded into some high liquidity up here, or higher liquidity here, I guess, around this 31. And yeah, this is where the demand met the supply. The aggressors met the passive orders here. And then now we're starting to see some sellers come in. Okay, so this is we're looking for a bit more buying up in here to be able to take that higher. Okay, and we thought we saw it here. Well, we did see it here, but we entered another contract into the trade. Okay, but just not enough up here. Okay, we came up to the swing, traded here, and now we're finding the sellers come in. Okay, so back to the bottom of the range. Are we going to find buyers in these areas in here? Okay, that's what we're looking for. Okay, this happens to us all the time, especially when buying breakouts, kind of like this in here. This happens a lot. And we just got stopped out. Okay, so that was our assumption. Now, this still may work out, okay, but it didn't this time. Okay, and what we're going to look for again is buyers to come back in above these areas up in here, and if they do, we're looking for our breakout. Okay. Okay, let's go back to this again. So yeah, another move down. So I thought we had it here just because this is our fourth attempt up here, and looking pretty good for a breakout. Now, like I said, we still may get it here. This is just another retracement back and then a move back up again. Okay, so that's what we need to determine here. Okay, all the way, we've moved all the way down here. This is why we take the stop, but all the way back down to where the buyers came in here. Zoom out a little bit more. All right, so this might be a good area to consider if you're still bullish. Okay, right in here, or you know, maybe there's still more supply. It comes back down into the lower levels around this 60-15 level here. Okay, but what we need to see, what we want to see this kind of shift and change from sell side to buy side in here now. Okay, on this small time frame. Okay, and we're trading into some high liquidity here, 21, also at this 20 level. Okay, but we need to see a lot more green dots in here lifting that market. Okay, so at this point here where it broke down from, this is where the sellers now are driving the market. Okay, we need to see that shift and change. Let me see if there's any questions. Yeah, happy Friday, Shark. So yeah, it was away for earlier in the week, but we're back to our regular schedule now. Okay, so looking for the next setup or opportunity. Let's go over that. The cross trading or multi-account trading here. So this is a new add-on we created here called multi-account trading. Okay, I'm going to open it up, and then you need to sign the waiver here. Accept the risks. Okay, that opens it up here. And we can go, let's just go through the details in here, how to set this up. I've set multiple in the past. So let's, we just, you can see there's many in here, or 3 in here that I've set up just for demo here. And you can click on the cog settings icon here, and then give it a name. I gave it 1 lot, 5 lot, 10 lot. And actually, that's not true. It should be, no, it is true. So I've got 3 different accounts in here. My primary account through the Rhythmic paper trading in here is 60. Okay, my secondary account is 60.1, and then 60.2 is the third account. And you can see the way I set it up here with a multiplier. So if I take 1 lot trade here, which we did in this account here, it will be multiplied into 10 that will be routed to my 60.1 account. Okay, so 1 lot will go to my 60 account, 10 will go to my 60.1 account, and then 5 will go to my other account here, 60.2. So for example, if you're using Bullnox and you have like 5 or 10 or 20, whatever amount of accounts, you can put them in here, and you can also put in different multipliers. Okay, so maybe in some accounts you want to be less risky than others, or maybe you have more money in one compared to another and you want to be more risky in that one, whatever the case may be. Okay, so anyway, you can see then this one here, I've got it check marked only for 1 account, my primary account here, but then 60.2, and I put 20 lots into that one. So if you want to trade that one, then all you do is select that one here, and you're good to go. Okay, so for example, let's just set an order in here, and I want to show what happens. Okay, so we'll just set an order down here. Okay, so there's our limit order. Okay, to buy down here, and then we'll go to our trading panel here, and here it is here, right? So here's my primary account 1. Okay, so working are open positions and working orders. Open positions are on top, working orders are below. Okay, so here's my working order of 1 that I just set here, and you can see 60.2. I have 20 lots in there, right here. Okay, and they're sitting here working, right? And that's that. Executions are over here, and you can see where we took our stop, or got in, bought, and then where we sold for these two lots in here. Is that true? Because we didn't have it. Yeah, that's it. So actually it did work for, it's just, I guess, just execution on 60. Yeah, okay, so it still recorded it here for 60, right? My primary account. So, but my secondary and tertiary account did not. All right. So anyway, let's stick with this one. We can also go, you have to select one of the accounts in here, but like I said, you can add the multiple accounts here, no problem. Okay, just you can continue to add them here, but it's only 1 bot at a time are you able to trade. Okay, all right, so are we getting that order flow shift that we're looking for? Yep, starting to. Here are the green dots coming right back in. In fact, let's try to capture this on a pullback here. Okay, traded up to the supply that came in here, and also some supply here. Okay, so I'm looking to see if we can get a pullback on low sell volume, get into this trade. It's not looking like it wants to pull back. This is what happens so many times. Yeah, we got caught up in it as well. It looked pretty good for me to break out, especially here, and then again here, and it just didn't. So this is, we found the buyers back down in here, and they're going for it again. Let's see here, maybe we'll get our pullback now. And also, let's just also take a step back here and look at our bigger picture here. Okay, so this is where we got in. We got stopped out around here, came back all the way, and then now we're back again. And yeah, some sellers coming in here at the moment. We're probably filled right around now. Maybe quite not yet. Just missed us. Boy, I want to get in. This is where the buyers came in. So the pullback could come all the way back down here. But it's this pressure we're looking for in here. And all of this range in here, quite range bound. Okay. Buyers meeting sellers right here. Okay. Order book. All right, so let's take a look at this here. So here we are back up again, and are we getting our buying pressure up at these levels up here? Yeah, so far so good. All right, I'm going to take a shot at it here, just as so this would be just one lot here, or I should say this would be just half a position. Okay, kind of like the way we handled it over here as well. Okay, one lot here, another lot there. So we're kind of spreading the risk over a few different lots. Okay, so maybe we'll get our pullback. I move my stop down to here, and then so maybe we get our pullback here, or maybe we want to just jump right in again, looking for the breakout like we were earlier. And if we do see a lot of buying up in here, then I think it's worth it. Okay, the bid is okay down here, not bad. Zoom out a little bit. See them bidding up in here. That's bullish. All right, here come the buyers. Now, this is where we want to really see this big green dot like these in here, right? And where here I thought this was going to turn into a big green dot. We had all the potential here and the sellers just took it down. Now we're looking for the opposite. We're really looking for that big green dot and then a quick move up into like 35 or maybe even 40. Another thing I wanted to go over. In fact, let me bring, oh, I don't, bring up the higher time frame chart here in Bookmap. This is a alpha version. Okay, I've got this kind of special version here to be able to zoom out quite a bit, and you can see September over here. And since this is not the continuous contract, which we can add it, but I would lose all my data from the TraderMap Pro version. But anyway, maybe this is enough. You can see that back in here, not many people are trading the futures contract for March 2025. So that's what's happening in here. Now that's because I don't have the continuous contract in here. This is from March, as you can see with the H5. But we can zoom out here and we can start to see what's going on. Here's our December 18 move to the downside. And then this is what we're looking for in here on this move to the upside, right? So in fact, let's just bring down the heat map a little bit and we can put in some few rays in here. Okay, so yeah, not bad. I mean, we're seeing our volume in here and on this higher time frame. So you can see this kind of pull back here and then a move back up, okay, on the higher time frame. Therefore, maybe we're looking for a move up into the swings up in here. Now, it might not happen today, but it has the potential to do it today. All right, so let's just take a look. Let's take that information in here from the order flow on this higher time frame and start to understand it here. Okay, so these moves in here are on the daily chart. Okay, the average true ranges. Well, let's just go with this range here. Okay, this was from let's just go with 6,000 down to what is this? That would be 5,900. So this is 100 points in here. And let's just go with 100 points. Okay, this is really kind of ad hoc, but just to get the idea across. So here's from 70 on up to 30, right? So that's we have 60 points so far that we're able to move. So we have another potential, like 40 points in here. If this is going to be kind of a flag pattern in here, and we see that volume that we're looking for. Okay, so let's go back in here and let's look. Okay, so yeah, it's so far so good, and yeah, we're looking for this to move here. This is what we're looking for here, and we just got caught up in this move that we've seen a million times, and that's why we're looking for it again for this continuation move. If you're bold, you want to add to it. It's we're looking for it to move. We're back up here again. This was our concept, our idea, and not just to break the high. We're looking for breaking this swing here, but going back up not to just 25, but even breaking 25. 25? This is say 25 here. No, I'm sorry, 35. Yeah. Okay, so 35 is up here. Okay, here's a pullback here. And let's see. Get more buyers back in here again. Or are we just going to get some back and forth in here? All right. Well, let's determine it. How do we know? Okay, well, what gives us some insight here? Pretty big volume bar dots here. Okay. And these aren't bad in here all the way through, actually. So yeah, here we go again. So it's a little late to get in, but yeah, we'd be looking for 35 and above. Now, let's also take into account our higher time frame here. Okay, so we've gone 60 points so far, up to 30. Let's just add another 30 on top of that, so up to about 60. All right, well, that comes up into this swing up in here. All right, so I'm just going to take my take profit here. Okay, and maybe we're heading for 50, so I'm just going to move it up here to 50. Okay, so we're looking for a riding this this breakout here and momentum. Good morning, Min. Red dot stop. Can you show Bookmap means already executed? Yeah, it means that they are executed. Executed stops. How do you trade them? How do you use them? Yeah, good question. Well, just start to understand the order flow again. Trying to keep it really simple in here. And I don't want to give a direct answer like, oh, you see this and you do that. It's really about understanding what's behind these numbers and what's going on in here. So what I mean by that is understanding that, like these 119 down here or these 100, these are traders or executions of stop orders. Now we don't know if we just know it's a stop order, and we know that typically smaller players are using stop loss orders to exit the market because we don't have the deeper pockets like the larger players. So we're going to get stopped out, look for another opportunity, just like we did in here. Okay, we saw a potential setup, or we saw a setup in here. We took a shot at it, we got stopped out, and we got back in. Again, actually at the same level up in here. And we're looking for the continuation here. All right, so we're assuming in here 413, 110, 119. These are traders getting stopped out, smaller players. Okay, and we can look for stop runs as well. Up in here, maybe these are sellers that got out of the market. They had to buy to get. So these are market orders here, but they were stops. Once they are triggered, once they are touched, they are triggered and they turn into a market buy order here. But we're putting it as a sell because it's a sell stop that we think is being triggered. Okay, we definitely know it's a stop. All right, now let's put that into context in here. Okay, so what's going on? Well, why is the market kind of slowing down right now? Okay, well, we're trading into high liquidity in these areas here. We looked at our 35 level as a potential target, and it was just a little too late to the party on that one. But we had a pullback here, so we might get it still. So we're trading up into high liquidity here, and others are getting stopped out. All right, so where are we finding supply and demand in the auction here? Well, this is definitely supply. Okay, with the passive orders getting filled with the aggressive demand in here by the market buy orders. Now, a lot of those market buy orders, though, are stops. And this is the context that's important to understand. So if people are getting stopped out on the way up, then maybe there's no more new buyers coming in. These are people exiting. So we need to see new demand come in. Okay, and that new demand will come in two forms. It might come in a skewed order book. Maybe there's more people on the bid up at higher levels in here, passive limit orders, as well as or the market buy orders here, the green dots. Okay, and so we want to understand the supply and the demand in here. Okay, so look where they're lined up in here on the bid. They're down below, and you can look at this as well, the point of control down here. So some traders that have quite a bit of liquidity are entering and starting to provide liquidity down at these levels here, saying that they will be buyers down here if the market wants to trade with them. Okay, and this is what makes the market. Okay, now they may be just left behind, and you might find the aggressive, not the passive demand here, but the aggressive demand to come in here at this point. New buying coming in here, maybe some stops as well triggered to be able to move the market higher. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Min, by understanding how to understand, first off, what stops are, the stop transactions, but then how to kind of put them into context within the order. Okay, just by understanding what they are is the first step, and then understanding like, okay, I understand now that we're trading up into highs of the day in here. People are getting stopped out, and we're also trading into some high liquidity in here. Okay, so now we need to see if there's still more buying demand in here. Now the same goes for the iceberg orders, which you see here with the little blue icon next to it. These are iceberg orders. So iceberg, then they're transactions of those orders. So we know this one here, for example, says E930/7. So what it means is that the last transaction was 7 here. But this was a fully executed iceberg order for 930 contracts. Okay, clearly a larger player. Right, and they got filled in here. Okay, right in this area in here, it points to it here. So larger players using, it's kind of like, it's a hidden order type. Okay, and the way it works is that they have to show something in the order book, okay, a piece of their hidden order. But the rest, so it's basically very quickly kind of piecemealed out into the order book. Okay, so but you don't know the depth behind it. The full depth is not there. We don't know. Okay, until that iceberg fully executes, then we know. And in this case, we know 930. Okay, now how does that help us? Well, it's the same way of looking at the passive supply and demand. So up here, for example, see we're actually trading into some of these iceberg orders right now. There's 242 that just transacted, fully executed right here. Okay, they are in front of this high liquidity here. So the icebergs are passive. Okay, and there's our breakout. Okay, that's what we're looking for earlier, and we got kind of caught up in it and stopped out here. And then we got back in though. Okay, and yeah, still looking for this to continue. Let's look at our higher time frame again. Okay, so now we just spiked above the high of the day here, and we're back in the range in here. Okay, so we're just getting a pullback here. Okay. This daily candle though still looks really good to me. So is the hourly. Everything's still looking pretty good. 15-minute chart, yeah, it's okay. But yeah, we're I'm still looking for maybe this 44 level here, but I really like it up in here. If we can get back up in today up into 68 or so, something like that. Okay, and it has the potential here. Average true range, it's all possible. You have a question? Go ahead. Okay. But anyway, this is the way I'm kind of translating and looking at the higher time frames and understanding the candlestick and price action, but then understanding it here in Bookmap. Okay. And then also let's go through a process and review what went wrong in here, what we do wrong in here. Okay, because this happens. It's unfortunate, and it happens all the time. In fact, okay, especially like exactly this scenario here. Okay, we just did another rotation. Okay, and then we get another rotation, and you see that order flow come in. You can look for a new potential breakout though. Same setup that we were looking for earlier. Just market had to come back down here and test these areas in here, and we found the buyers though this time, and now we're up at higher highs. Okay? And it will happen again as well. It might happen where maybe in this area in here, and come back down and test into these areas in here, maybe into the point of control, which is where we have another limit buy here. Okay, below the swing here. Okay, and in front of all these guys in here in the what about large call open interest and volume in the SPX? Oh boy, I have not looked into that. However, that is definitely we have got a lot of traders over here, also in the Bookmap Academy, that are looking at options levels. Okay, we have Doug Pless, who also looks at those levels in his webinars on Mondays and Wednesdays. Okay, so if you're interested, I can show you where that is. Go to bookmap.com and then click on education here. And we'll have a new calendar for you guys soon. But you'll see our traders in here. And then you go down a little bit further and you can see that here's options with Doug. Okay, so it's stocks and futures, but we color coded it here. Blue is the futures traders. The mixed markets is this kind of blue, and then stocks and options we have here as this kind of orange or red. Okay, special events are yellow, and then this gray here is actually Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. Okay, so anyway, that's Doug. He is on here, 1:30 East Coast time. These are all East Coast times, at least on my calendar here. But it'll adjust to your local clock time. And then you can also see him here at 1:30 on Wednesdays. We also have Options Millionaire. Geez, I forgot to say that. 10:30 on this is on Wednesday. Yeah. We have another stock trader in here on Wednesday as well. He'll be on next week. He was off this week. J Trader right here. There you go. You can sign up on those from our calendar as well for these events. Yeah. Oh boy. You might want to. I don't know if you are. Are you part of our Bookmap Academy, or or a Discord, you might want to check it out, and discuss with these guys. I mean, they're going to give you a better answer than me. It's not just open interest they're looking at. They're looking at all sorts of SPX levels. Call walls, put walls, a lot of other things. Okay, and basically they have a column that they put their, here I can demo this. We'll insert a new column and we'll turn this into a notes column, just a custom notes. And then let's suppose down as POC, let's suppose it's an option level. Maybe they would say like it's SPX, 6,000 level, or I don't know, something like this. Okay, and okay, we have a new feature actually for this in here. You put a line now in it with styling. Draw a line. There it's right here. So if you guys don't see it in your current version of Bookmap in production, you can download and install the beta version. Did I do it? Save it. Okay, and then you can see the line going across here. Okay. Just a 1 pixel line. All right, guys. Well, let's see. The order flow up here is not looking too good, to be honest. We don't know. All of a sudden, there might be a bunch of buyers that do come in, but in my book, this is where I would start to manage it. If I see a lot of selling starting to come in here, then I would exit the position. But right now, we got in here, and it's about a 6 point move or so. But we're looking for a runner in this. We want we got to see our buyers up in here, and we got to see them trade into and through this liquidity in here. For me, though, this is a great, if we do not see buyers up in here, or something in the order book, like maybe these guys start to pull their liquidity here and add it higher, and there's more underneath on the bid in here, then we would stay with it. But this would be a good time to reduce some risk and take some off, but hold for the bigger, longer term position. And we don't know. We never know, right? All of a sudden, the aggressors is where it's always kind of, well, both aggressors and passive orders here. You never know how much more demand is there. And see how we're finding them now? And we don't know how much they have. We know now, though, they came in with some demand, but they met the sellers here at 39 and here at 38. Okay, is there still more demand? Not at the moment, right? And can they trade up into this high liquidity here in the book? 218 contracts up at 40. So what we're looking for is these green dots to continue and moving that market higher. We're also looking for maybe more demand in terms of the order book, the passive demand. Yeah, the line is really great. Shark. Yeah, I want to be able to make it like, bigger in terms of pixels though as well. Yeah, there's also new drawing tools in 7.6 beta version. Okay, this channel, which is great. Using that as we can hold down the shift key as well and just create a channel. And then if we want to come in and move it around a little bit, okay, or even from here if you want to move it around, or you can hold down that shift key and it'll go to 45, 180, and negative 45 as well. Another nice thing on this one is you can edit it and extend it to the right. Okay, go. So no matter what I do in here, like this will always be extended to the right. All right, let's do a little order management here. I'll cancel this order down here. My stop is way down here. I can probably put it up below the swing here. Just be below break even. But we're going to watch the order flow and consider the management at that point. Let's see. Let's go back and take a look at our higher time frames in here. Okay, so looking good. We have the potential for some momentum here. And just looking for this swing here up at 45 looks pretty good. And I would, if I were a larger player in here, I'd be looking for trying to get up to here. And there's going to be some people, there's going to be some stops up in here. And try to just, and if I was a seller in here, I would be very leery of that and wait for a better price to sell and kind of get out of the way. But we're not really seeing that here. These guys are staying in the order book. Okay, so we're getting our pullback now. All right, well, let's take a look at this. Maybe we can add in, and we just traded into some high liquidity down here. Okay, and we look for the buyers maybe back up above this area here. Starting to. Okay, do we get some stops on the way down? Yeah, we got a few. Nothing really big though. Shake people out. Okay, here's a retest to here, and do we get buyers back up above? Starting to. Let me see if there's any questions here. Alois, nicely done. Yeah, yeah, guys, really, you should consider that I mean, the communities, it just flows so much nicer over on Discord than here on YouTube. So, and you're gonna have access to way more like-minded traders over there who are, as you can see, they're excellent in answering your questions even here in YouTube. Yeah, thank you, Alois. That was a sell iceberg because it was above. So that was a limit sell, or it wasn't a limit sell order, but it's like a limit sell order. It's like a passive order. If it's above, they're getting filled here on the on the offer, these icebergs. Okay. Here, let me just here, and then they're on the bid in here. So let's just zoom in here, and I'll show you this. Okay, because there's one right here that one has executed so far there. Now it disappeared here because I have a filter on it. You can see it kind of ghosted here, but let's go through it. So let's go through this 135 fully executed here. All right. So we really have to zoom in here, and this shows really the depth of Bookmap and the accuracy of Bookmap here. The D here stands for detected, 19, okay, in parentheses. So 19 transactions. This blue line represents the iceberg order, okay, that is here on the best best offer at this point. You see sellers, or just above it here, sellers are hitting into it though. I mean, here's the best bid here, and I'm sorry, best offers up here. Best bid is down here. Sellers hitting into this iceberg here, okay, one after another. Okay, so 19, 36, this was for 36, this was for 2, this was for 4, this was for 12. And this iceberg remained in here, and you can see the best bid actually goes down. Well, the iceberg's still here though, okay, and it's still transacting. Here's another one for 1. Okay, here's another one. Now this is actually kind of an interesting one. This iceberg here upheld the best bid for a bit, right in here. You can see it upheld it. You can put a limit order on the best offer. All right. So anyway, it was basically, it upheld the bid. I mean, the bid was down below it, but it was still getting filled here. Now notice that after it fills in here, the best bid does go down a tick, and see if we get another transaction. Really no transactions in here in that area. But anyway, this is the basic, or should I say, the kind of more, this is definitely microstructural because we are sub-second levels. Okay, that's what microstructure means. It means sub-second levels. Okay, and structure within those areas in here. So we can see all these different transactions, and it adds up, fully executed, for 135 altogether. You can see the last one was 14, and then if we zoom in here, well, and then it was filled here. Okay, so we know that. We know that it was fully filled. Now there's a little bit of a delay afterwards because of the, and it's not much. It's less than a blink of an eye. Quite a bit less. But anyway, after this order, an iceberg ID is lifted from the market, or we know that was fully filled. We know the size of that iceberg. Okay, we know if it was also canceled or moved. Okay, in this case, it was fully executed. So this trader got what he wanted and fully executed iceberg at this price level here. All right, and that he's a buyer. He's on the bid. All right, let's take a look at the order flow in here. How's it working? So we traded up into 40, okay, and pretty high liquidity up here. And we traded a little bit through it, so still a little more demand in here. Okay, the bid looks pretty good in here. Look at this higher bid in here. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, the question is though, what is the aggressive selling look like? What does the offer look like? Okay, well, the offer is up here, so we're still trending higher. We just need to see again now this context, okay, of the aggressive buyers coming in here, charging up after some of this liquidity to meet the sellers up here. Okay, if we do not get aggressive buyers, we may exhaust out from the buy side. If we exhaust out from the buy side, there are no more buyers up at these levels up in here. We are going to find, most likely we are going to find some sellers bring it back down into the middle of the range. Okay, so it's kind of doing that right now. Okay, and let's see then how much supply they have, and are they willing to make the transactions with the passive demand down here, the limit buy orders. And this is the context we go through again and again and again. All right, guys, so this interesting thing kind of happening here. I mean, we didn't make a higher high. Okay, the bid looks pretty good. We didn't make a higher high though. You can see now some of the selling coming in after that though, here. We kind of exhaust out here. There's some buying up here, so it's not truly exhaustion, but compared to over here, it's a lot less. Okay. And then we see sellers come in. All right, so now we see the buyers come back and they can only muster it up to here, okay, where these sellers came in and moved that market. And if we can't get buyers back up above this area in here, the sellers remain in control and will be able to sell again and move the market lower. Okay, so these are some of the fundamentals we look for in the order flow. Start to understand where did the aggressors come in. Now we're not talking so much about the heat map right now. In fact, I'll dim it. Okay, and look where those sellers came in. Okay, and it's here. Okay, and so far they've controlled it. And in fact, no more buyers in here. This is a classic little flag pattern in here, and then more sellers here. Right now, they have the. We'll see. If we exhaust out up here, or maybe there's a lot of limit orders up here, or maybe we just all of a sudden see a bunch of aggressive sellers come in. Okay, now I would assume that on this small time frame in here, okay, because the sellers are moving the market here. In fact, it shouldn't. We really shouldn't see it come back up here again. If we look for a pullback to about here, and then more sellers to come in. Okay, so now what we have though is the potential for a short squeeze. Okay, and we'll look for it. We'll look for red dots above, up in these areas up in here, because the scenario here now is this is where the sellers came in. They should be remaining in control. And if all of these sellers in here though can't sell again, they are going to be buyers up in here, and they are going to move the market higher by covering. Okay, so let's look for that scenario here. So up above here, we're looking for a short squeeze. All right? Any questions on that? Okay, and we're just waiting for our sellers in here, or these sellers in here to cover and be buyers. So there's some of it already, 49. Okay, we're looking for more than that though, because we have a nice cluster of selling in these two little areas here, clusters. So we're looking for them to be squeezed out. Okay, so another concept in here that is kind of, I mean, Alois, Rob, Shark, I mean, everybody, we've gone over them many, many times, but just, to kind of bear in mind what these things are and what we're looking for due to these players in the order flow. Okay, so we've already hit one, or a cluster of stops here. Now we're looking for another. There, even better, right? 97 stops triggered. Okay, I'm looking for even better than that. I want to see like maybe a couple hundred here. If I zoom out here, let's see. Maybe we can see around 250, 280. Maybe we'll get a little bit more here up in these higher levels here. Okay. In fact, let's go back and look at our higher time frame here. So we're just coming up into this area here, around 44.5 or so. Okay, and let's. So I have my target up here in front of the 50, but just for the webinar sake here, I'm going to put my target down here in front of that 44.5. Okay, that's our price level here. Let's see if we can get that squeeze we're looking for. Okay, now let's see here. Maybe these buyers also now feel the squeeze, right? This happens all day long, right? So here, maybe the sellers can get down below this area here, and these buyers in here, feel the squeeze, right? Let's see. Okay, what gives us some insight here? Well, the bid looks good. I like the bid. So they're bidding up still underneath here. So I'm still looking for some buyers here, aggressive buyers. And don't let these guys out. I want to see them get squeezed. It happens to us all the time. So let's see if we can take advantage of that behavior from other retail traders. Make it work for us. Okay, it's starting to set up kind of nicely. You just need to get back up above here, right above 40.5, 3/4. Okay, iceberg order here, some stops. Okay, still looking for buyers back up above this 40.5 or so. Yeah, let's see, Stoic, Troglite. You like this? I mean, really, like this is where you can see not just the education in here, but the understanding of the market mechanics and really what's going on in the markets in here. This is so diverse from other education out there. To be able to understand, if you look at your candles in here, I mean, look how removed what some of the concepts we're going through and understanding are so it's not seen or foreseeable here as easily by looking at the order flow in Bookmap. Okay, so I'm still looking for this. It's set up beautifully for this spike above, up into these sellers up in here. Okay, so I'm still looking for 45 or 44 and a half, and then we still have the potential though up to into the 68 level as well. Now look, it depends on what kind of type of trader are you, and what you're piecing together, right? We have Trump coming into office. We have the this technical level in here, and it's Friday, and the markets are off on Monday. So maybe it's time to move the markets today, and wait for next week for the markets, kind of buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing. Okay. So if you're a fundamental trader and you see this in the order flow, well, maybe you'd be holding for longer for today, looking for this squeeze and the market to move today, take your profits, and then on Monday start afresh, or Tuesday, I'm sorry. However that you trade, it doesn't matter. Start to put the pieces together here by understanding the order flow. Okay, looking for that big squeeze now, even better squeeze, because we even have more sellers in here, and we're looking for a real nice squeeze up into these levels here. Okay, and that would be a quick move once these stops start to trigger. Okay, 38 have triggered so far, but we're looking for more than that. Right? Is anyone selling in here and here? They have not quite. Some of these guys have been stopped out, but some of these guys have not. Okay. Now here we go. Let's see. Look at what's happening here in the order book. See them pull on the offer. See them pulling in here. See the bids starting to add more at higher levels. Okay. Now we just need the aggressors, okay, to complete the pattern here. Okay. If we get the buyers up in here, they can move that market more easily because there's less liquidity up here now. Okay, so it's a cave dweller. I had no idea. Troglodyte. All right, interesting. Learn something every day. All right, guys, looking for that stop run here. Looks pretty. Let's see it. Let's see if we can get that quick move here, and we'd get filled along the way. Looking for the squeeze. And hey, if it doesn't happen, and this was happened to us before, we're looking for it before and we got stopped out, right? Well, the market maybe it has to rotate lower to find buyers to be able to push through back at some of these levels here. The thing that I like on this one that's a little different is we know that these guys are trapped, right? So I'm looking for them to get out, and it'll be through the stop run that we're looking for, and hopefully we'll get it here. We'll get a big stop run, and then we can take a look at it as it how it unfolded. Okay, so we're filled here, but we see 48 so far. I'm looking for more than that, like maybe 200, something like that. 300. So now we've got over 100 now. Okay, I'm still looking for more. Okay, there's 64. Come on, let's see the big quick move here. That you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like a quick move, and we'll see a tremendous amount of stops being triggered. It's kind of grinding higher here. and right up into 50, not bad. That wouldn't be bad. There's our 162. Okay, 162 just there, 86 here, 69 here, 48 here. Okay, so but we didn't get our real quick move here. Still kind of looking for that jolt. Okay, our original target was up here around this 48. I just didn't think we were going to get there by the end of the webinar. So I thought, well, what the heck? Let's put it down below this guy here, that swing. Guys, this is a good example of how this plays out. And we got it recorded here in YouTube, but look for this, anticipate it. It just make sure you understand where who's getting stopped out and where, using the stops and icebergs in here, mostly the stops. Do they have potential for this in here, these sellers, to be the fuel for this move here to the upside? Now, especially, this is beautiful stuff in here on a trending day, and today we have it. Here's another 94 now. So now this is getting interesting up here. Okay, 162 here, we go higher and only 94 now. So maybe we're finding the edge of the stops. Maybe that's as high as we maybe it still can go higher, and maybe it's 30 or 40 or something like that up higher. And that would mean that we've kind of explored that upper edge, and we've already, these guys that felt the pain in here are out of the market. And maybe it's at that point that we start to look for the selling or the pullback to come back into the market and move it lower. Okay, makes sense. All right, well, I think I'm going to leave you with that, and we will we'll call it a day here in a week, and then we'll connect with you guys on not Monday, but on Tuesday for the webinar. Okay, if any last minute questions in here. Rob, how's it going? How's the any of these options levels in here you've been looking at today? Been trading off of. Thanks, Luis. Same to you. Have a great weekend. Okay, so that's right. You're looking at NDX in the Qs and the NQ. That's right. That's right. I keep forgetting that. Yeah. See, guys, I mean, see how we can, we stop getting we start reaching some of these highs on the higher time frame first. Okay. Second, we're trading into some of these higher levels of liquidity, and they're getting filled. Okay. And third, so here they're getting filled here. And then third, we're looking at these stops in here. And, that buying pressure, that fuel to the fire is drying up. And then if we don't have new buyers come in here, we're going to find some sellers move it back down and retest some of these levels where the buyers came in. Now the question is, where are we going to find more buyers? Okay, well, maybe we're finding some of them here in the order book. Okay, and do we find aggressors out of that area? Yeah, we're starting to find a few. Okay, so then maybe these guys, they're already at the top of the range here, but maybe they come up to here though, 47. Okay, this is where we can start looking for scalps as well. And you can scalp this all day long, looking for things like that. Okay, look at even the pullback here. Where did we pull back to? Where these buyers came in here. Okay, same thing. And now we're back up above it. So let's see if the buyers can reach back up to, well, we're already here where it dropped from. Okay, just the same concept we just went through. And you can scalp this on these smaller time frames all day long. Now make sure you've got something solid to lean against though, and put this together into at least one time a higher time frame. And in this case, it would be this move here, right? So it's a very small time frame, but that's what we'd be looking for. Okay. Now we're looking for a pullback again, because this is where the sellers came in. Did we find them again? Yes. Okay. Were they able to drive the market lower? Yes. Okay. Do we find buyers now down here? Okay. That's a big question. Okay. So look at the bid. Okay. We're finding them here in the order book. Okay, we need both though. We need to find them in the order book absorbing the selling pressure, which they have not absorbed yet. It just kind of touched it here. We want to see the transactions take place into the heat map. And then we know it's absorbed or starting to absorb. All right, guys, I think that's plenty to go through for today. We'll catch up on Tuesday. Have a great extended weekend, everybody. Good to be back, and we'll see you then. Okay. Yep. Thanks for coming, everybody. Come on, give me a thumbs up if you like the content. That always is very helpful. And join our Discord. It would be the best. And come on over and partake with the discussion and continue the discussion with these like-minded traders. We've got a great community over here, so come on over and take advantage of it. All right, thanks for coming, everyone. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch up with you on Tuesday. Bye-bye.